Hi there. So today I'm going to go over the 3D Studio Max viewport background. The whole reason I'm doing this is because not too long ago I was working on a project with another person, also inside 3D Studio Max. I discovered that he didn't really know how to get smooth video playback in the viewport background, and I don't really blame him. It's kind of bullshit. There's a lot of little bitty like pitfalls for this thing. Like any other super complicated program, there are always little bitty aspects of it that are just built to piss you off, it seems. Or like, you know, programmers don't really give two shits about it. They don't think about it. They're too busy updating it with other features that you're never going to use. So welcome to the world of visual effects. Anyway, let me get right into this. So I was given an Apple ProRes 444 QuickTime of this little bitty shot. Now I'll pull it up here in After Effects. This is the one, and the first thing you're going to notice is this fucker is 8,000 by 4th. I mean, it's huge, right? Like, nonsensical. So at 8K, this shot is, we're going to go to details, you're going to see it's a gig big at 3 seconds. If that's any sort of, you know, a little bit of if that helps you at all. But anyway, it's a gig. You're never going to want to load a file this big into the 3D Studio Max viewport background. So let me get right into it and show you what's going on. So here is 3D Studio Max, right? Right off the bat, you're like, I want to load a video file into this viewport right here. So the first thing you're going to do, if you don't know anything about this, is see this little realistic tab? You're just going to click that guy. You're going to go to viewport background. There's a couple of options here. Don't really worry about them. We're going to go to configure viewport background right here. So this is where you load in your QuickTime. You can go to use file, animate background. We're going to go to the files, find the guy. So here's the Apple 444. Now I'm going to click on this and you can just see Max like trying to process it in that moment. Like I can open this guy up, hit apply. Okay, and the first thing you're going to notice is right now, it's in here, but it's stretched. It's like weird looking. To help you out to fix this, you can go to perspective, show safe frames, which does this weird shit. And you're like, why the fuck does it look like this? This is dumb. So in order to fix this is you have to go to your render setup right here. And these numbers here and here need to match the size of the QuickTime that you're using, or at least the size of the shot that you want to render. So go back and remember it is 81924320. So come in here, 8192. Oof. 4320. Hit enter. There it goes. Now it's fixed. You're going to lock this in and never think about this tab again. You can close it. But here's our first problem. Since this QuickTime is a gig, like, look at this. Like, I'm clicking around and it can't even keep up. Like, it's kind of glitching out on me, right? Even though you can open up QuickTime and play this video like one-to-one at a gig, 3D Studio Max can't handle that shit because of reasons, right? So what I tend to do is I'll make smaller versions of this guy. And I will not use Apple 444. Say you're on a PC, you know, you want to use something a little bit more universal. So right here, let's say I'm going to make a 1920 version. So, and you got to make sure your aspect ratio stays the same. So it's going to be 1920 by 1013. That's fine. And I render this guy out as a DNxHR 8-bit. Now, what that's going to do is going to cut down the size of this thing like significantly. So if you come into the folders and look at this guy, the 1920 version is 61 megabytes. Way the hell down from a gig. So since this is clearly not going to work and is doing nothing but slowing down my project, let's load that guy in and see what we get. I'm going to go to configure viewport background. Go to files, grab the 1920, hit open, apply, hit OK. Now look at this. Now, if I'm scrubbing this guy around, it's not that it can't keep up anymore. It seems fine, but I can't get it to play right. If I hit play animation, nothing happens. It freezes up, but every time I stop on a frame, it updates. Even though, if you go to configure viewport background, I have animate background checked. So you're like, what the hell is this? Like, why is this stupid? It's animate the fucking background, please, 3D Studio Max. Well, this is dumb programmer bullshit number 729. What you have to do is you got to go to Customize and then Preferences. Underneath the Viewport tab, third over on the bottom, there is update viewport, update background while playing. You got to click that guy, hit OK, and now it'll play as you scrub. But we're going to notice, even though this is a 61 megabyte QuickTime, it plays like shit. It still plays like a stop motion animation, like it's all choppy. So the logic of this is that you just got to keep on this same path, right? Whenever you render, it's going to be 8K. But while you're inside here, you got to keep bringing it down until it plays smoothly. So if I go to Configure Viewport Background, go to Files, and you can see right here I made a 900 version of this same QuickTime. So instead of 1900, 900, I halved the size again. Hit Open, hit Apply, hit OK, and now you'll see it plays super smoothly. It's real-time playback at this point. So that's kind of the secret. I feel the DNX HR gives you the smallest file sizes. You're not really worrying about quality. This isn't about quality. You're not going to be rendering this guy. You're going to comp that later. So all this choppy bullshit in the background doesn't really matter. Now, additionally, you can do image sequences, and that's what I find a lot of people do. And I think that that sucks too, because they'll give you a 1920 by 1080 JPEG sequence, and it still plays like crap for no reason. To show you how to load a JPEG sequence, just so you know, in case you want to go that route, you can go to File, same story. I already made a 900 JPEG sequence right here. If you just hit Sequence, hit Open, include path file, it's going to create a little file like this. I already did it once. And hit that, Apply, OK, and now here we are, right? And it plays back. Now, you can see here in this area, it's all choppy and gross because it's not a QuickTime, it's a JPEG. It just degraded the look of it. Doesn't really matter. It's ugly, like whatever. It just depends on what you need it for. If you just need to play back smoothly, then it's fine. I like to go with the DNX HR QuickTimes just because it plays back just as smooth and it looks a little bit better. It looks a little bit better. It's not like night and day, but whatever. Additionally, you would need the frame rate of 3D Studio Max to reflect the frame rate of the QuickTime you load into it. And the way you do that is to come over to time configuration right here. Click on that guy. And right now it's default to NTSC, which is like 30 frames a second. You're going to want to switch it to film. And then hit OK. And right now you'll see it switched it to 24. Now the reason it's 24 and not 23 like 976 or whatever, 23.9, is because 3D Studio Max only works in solid frames. It won't do 23.9 blah blah blah. It will only do 24 or 25 or 26. It just doesn't work that way. So don't worry about it. Everything's still going to match up in the end. Just switch it to film, hit OK. Look at this guy, it plays back perfectly fine, and you can see here that it actually cuts out when the QuickTime ends, so that'll let you know when it's over. So then you can adjust your frame range to 89, hit OK, play this guy back, and you have smooth video playback in the 3D Studio Max viewport background. Jeez. Anyway, I could rant all day about how dumb it is that it takes so many steps to just load in a fucking QuickTime. It's the worst ever that somebody would ever dare to add a little bitty tab under Configure Viewport Background that says Animate Background and not just have it default to playing the video in the background. That it only would update on when you stopped moving on the timeline. And if you hit play, it would not animate the background unless you go into Customize and tell it to. That is ridiculous, and I wish that they would change that, but Max has been around for like, I don't know, forever. They haven't changed it. They're never going to. This is one of those stupid things that's just going to remain the way it is. They're too busy adding shit into the program you're never going to use. So anyway, I hope that helps someone. It's a little frustrating, but now hopefully you have a solution, and I'll try to make a few more of these to help out with little bitty problems like here and there. All right, take care.